Hey guys, thanks for looking on this video. Welcome to the review of my Vibe Seaghost 130 kayak. Let's get right into it. I'm going to start up here with the front on the review of the Vibe. Up here it's got a really nice handle. I have no complaints with this handle. This handle's, from what I've seen for the kayak's price range, probably one of the best handles that the kayak in this price range comes with. Then we're going to come over here to this hatch. This hatch has two levers to keep water out. I've had no leaking in this hatch, and I have rolled my kayak, done re-entry drills, just messed around in this kayak with my friends, got it wet, and it keeps it dry. Also in this hatch it comes with a nice bag. This bag's really nice for keeping lunch in it, sunscreen, stuff that you're going to need quick access to in the water. If you're new to kayaking, it may sound weird that you can come up to the front of your bow and just grab stuff out like nothing, but once you're into the sport you'll realize how easy it is to get to this hatch. We're going to come into the cockpit area of the kayak. So we're going to start up front. You have two trays for your legs right here, and I'll get a better zoom angle on that in a second. You have two scupper plugs right up here, and those do drain pretty good. I've used this kayak in water that's 45 degrees, and it keeps the water draining out. You do have your two foot pedals right here to turn your rudder. They're pretty good. Do have one complaint. They are supposedly spring assisted. The springs honestly aren't the best. The more I use it, the more they wear down, which is to be expected. But I have had problems with springs popping out, and because you are on the water, they do kind of just pop out. Right here, if you guys can see, they're easily adjustable. Very nice to conform. Very easily to move on the water too. I can go from the up position to the down position, move my foot pedals out. Good center hatch. Pretty good for mounting the fish finder. Only problem is it does not meet up with the Lowrance original ready mount in my experience. And I'm on some forums, the Vibe forum and the kayak DIY forum, and I've seen a lot of people that have had problems with that. I like the center mount, although to be honest, if I was going to do it again, I'd use the rail gear mount. This does come with rails. Pretty good. Center hatch storage. As you can see, the center hatch has got other storage. Plenty of pre-made screw holes. You don't have to drill anything into this boat. Got a nice cup holder here. Good for about an average drink. Can't really fit a Pottery bottle or anything in there, but that's not too big of a problem for me. Right here, I do just have my transducers that come in. I've had no problems with water really leaking in. You do have some straps that keep it nice and secure. That's probably the best feature of this kayak, to be honest. One of them would be this center hatch, and this center hatch I can keep 20 to 30 soft plastics, plus I bring two batteries for my Lowrance Hook 3 fish finder. And one nice thing with the Lowrance Hook 3 fish finder is you don't need a big battery like a traditional fish finder. In fact, I run these off of a Mojo, like a duck decoy, the ones with spinning arms, one of those batteries, and that lasts me all day. I just bring a second just in case if I forget to charge it. I have no complaints with the cockpit. Now this is going to bring me into the seat portion of the cockpit. This is a little bit further back, not really attached to the center hatch. This seat is honestly one of the most comfortable seats that I've seen on the market for the $1,000 price range, which is probably why you're looking into the Vibe. I'm 16, and this is my first kayak. I put a lot of research into this, and I just found that this one's the best with the seat and everything. This seat does come completely out. As you guys can see here, this seat's really nice. In fact, one of my favorite things is I do fish kayak tournaments. After the tournament, when you're sitting around for weigh-in, when you put your kayak away, just grab the seat and just go ahead and sit down. And now you actually got a lawn chair on the grass or the savannah or whatever, which is really nice compared to your buddies who probably have other kayaks where their seat can't completely disattach. Now, another nice feature next to your seat is you can fit two 600 series tackle boxes. They do fit. I use Bass Mafia just because you will want waterproof. You are going to get water here. You have plenty of drainage. Your butt's never going to get wet. And the seat right here, really comfortable. And it has a high position and a low position. Personally, I always keep it in the high position. I have put it in the low position twice, and that was just because there was whitecaps that were coming into my boat. And I didn't want to be thrown out when they were rocking me around. But the Vibe is very stable. I can stand in this boat no problem. The other thing is the tip of this boat is really nice. My only complaint is because it is designed for the ocean, and I'm a bass fisherman, and it's designed to break waves. waves, if you get to whitecaps, will break through. So if you're fishing in the spring or the fall, if I was you, I just bring gaiters. I bring gaiters and I have no problem. They keep me dry. And like I said, the scupper plugs, they do a great job. Just pull your scupper plugs every like 5 minutes. The water will drain out. No water comes up through these scupper plugs. Now we're going to move on to the back hatch. One last feature about the seat I forgot to say is it is multi-position. Fits your back really comfortably. I can't say enough good things about this seat, guys. Honestly, spend a little bit of extra money and get a kayak with a seat like this. You won't regret it. I had a friend who started with a kayak that didn't have a seat like this. I'm not going to say the kayak name because I'm not into shaming brands and stuff like that, but he didn't have a seat like this. He was miserable. He's a big guy. This kayak, I put him in it, and we switched kayaks because I'm a little bit shorter. I'm just under 6 foot. He's 6'4.5". He's a big guy, as I said. He's one of my fishing buddies we go with all the time. Now he's got a Hobie, but at the time he had a smaller kayak, and I put him in this, and he said it was a world of difference. He could actually stand in this kayak, and he'd never been able to stand in a kayak before. That's just an attribute to how stable this boat is. The secondary is a little sketchy, but the first stabilization, it's perfect. So as I was saying, this has got 2 flush mount rod holders and another back hatch. This back hatch is perfect for keeping your pliers, stuff that you want to get to fast. It does come with another little proof haul thing, another bag. I've also had no leaks with this. As I said, I've flipped this kayak many times on purpose. I've never accidentally flipped this kayak. I don't want you guys to worry about that. If you're new to kayaking, this is a great boat. Very stable. You won't have any problems with it. Now we're going to get into the back tank well here. 2 scupper plugs. And I just keep those empty because you will be splashing your gear back here. So it's very important to invest in waterproof tackle boxes or you will go through hooks like crazy. Now that's to be expected with pretty much any paddle kayak, especially in waves when you're splashing back here. So I just keep the plugs out to drain it in. Right here I keep a milk crate. And then the rest of this back here is just loose stuff that I may need, like a jacket. Stuff that I'm really not going to get to in a dry bag a lot of times. Right here we have a rudder. The way that you deploy the rudder is up here. There's a little piece of cord. You pull that little piece of cord forward. It pulls it down. I release it. That rudder comes up. It's my fault that it's not fully coming up. It's not as tight as it should be. Comes right in here and latches right on here with a little piece of string. Really, really nice for transport. Just remember to undo that string because if you don't undo that string, there's no getting it out on the water. Just flips right out. Really good for turning. This kayak with this rudder, I have no concerns of not tracking straight or anything. Oh, 3-4 miles an hour just at a comfortable paddle casually for 30 minutes to get to your fishing spot. For a boat this big, that's really unheard of. It's a really nice kayak and it tracks really straight. Saying this is a great kayak. For me personally, I'm getting to the closer spectrum of a bigger guy. I'm 170. I have no problem. The weight capacity of this kayak is 550 pounds, I believe, and that's great. Me and my friends wanted to stress test it one day. One of my friends is pushing 200 and the other one's comfortably 200, and we had all of us in there, and this kayak had no bends or nothing. And I know you're not supposed to do that, but we just wanted to stress test our kayaks, and it was fine. Water did come through the scuppers, but that was about it. If you guys are looking for a kayak under $1,000, I'd go with this. I comfortably got in my kayak with a life jacket for around $1,000. One other thing I'd like to discuss is if you're getting into kayak fishing, get a PFD. There's 2 problems that I've said that I've had with the kayak, and I just want to go a little bit more in depth with it. The rudder system. The rudder system is honestly the best and the worst part of this kayak. I really like it, and I really don't like it at the same time. For what the kayak's price range is, it's a really nice rudder system, and it works. It does its job. But I have had some problems. Like when I release the string, the rudder does not come all the way back to the top. You guys might have saw that in the video. It's supposed to flip back. I don't know why that happens. If any of you guys know, leave it in the comments below. I always like to learn stuff. And like I said with the spring, Vibe does carry new springs, and they're really cheap. All of their replacement parts are really cheap, and that's the nice thing. But every time I go to order them, they seem to be out of stock, or shipping is just kind of expensive, so I just haven't replaced them. Everything on this kayak's replaceable, and that's one of the really nice things with Vibe. Vibe's a great company. The only other complaint I've had with this is, as I said, I live in Michigan. The closest dealer to me was Central Ohio. I drove 5 hours to get this kayak. We were coming back from spring break, so it wasn't as big of a deal, but it was still kind of annoying because the only place that I could find that would ship it up here, I believe it was $70 to ship up here. So It is kind of hard to get in some areas. They are a smaller company and they're building out, but don't let that stop you. This kayak has been well worth the investment. So as you guys can see in this clip, the Vibe kayak is actually very, very easy to stand in. One of the things that I usually do is stand when I'm fishing, and the reason for that is because usually it allows me to see the fish before I see them. I can get a better hook set. There's a lot of benefit to standing in a kayak while fishing. While yes, this does take a little bit of practice, in the end result, usually it's better productivity when you're fishing. I'd highly recommend, if you can't stand in a kayak, learning how to stand. If you're worried about standing in the Vibe kayak, don't be. It's a very, very stable boat, as I said. If you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comments below or hit up the Vibe Tribe on Facebook. It's their customer group. It's a really, really good resource if you're getting into this sport. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more outdoor videos. This is Sean S. Bye.